A 6-year-old deaf girl sat alone outside a Phoenix Café, sketching in her notebook. 3 skaters filmed her crying and posted it online. By morning, the video hit 300,000 views. But when one biker saw that girl's drawing, he made a single phone call. 2 days later, 40 Harleys rolled into that desert town, and those bullies had no idea what was coming. Sofia Rivera sat on the sun-bleached concrete outside Cactus Coffee in Phoenix, Arizona. Her sketchbook balanced on her knees, colored pencils scattered beside her like fallen soldiers. At 16, she'd learned to find peace in silence, not because she chose it, but because she had no other option. Born profoundly deaf, Sofia's world existed in vibrations, colors, and the fluid poetry of sign language. Today, she was drawing her favorite subject, a Harley-Davidson motorcycle with angel wings spreading from its chrome body. The words, "Freedom Rides," flowing beneath it in careful script. Her mother, Maria Rivera, worked a double shift inside her second job as a hospital cleaner wouldn't start for another hour. Sofia didn't mind waiting. The desert heat felt like a blanket, and her art transported her somewhere safer than the real world had ever been. She didn't see the 3 skateboarders approaching from behind. Being deaf meant surprises came without warning. Jason Brenner was 17, a linebacker with a scholarship offer and an ego twice his size. His phone was already recording when he snatched the sketchbook from Sofia's hands. "Yo, check it out." Jason's voice boomed as he waved the book above his head. His crew, Tyler and Marcus, both juniors at Desert Ridge High, circled Sofia like predators. "It's the deaf chick who thinks she's an artist." Sofia's eyes went wide with panic. She reached for the book, signing frantically, "Please, give it back. Please." But her hands spoke a language they refused to understand. "What's wrong?" Tyler mocked, mimicking her signs with exaggerated, cruel gestures. "Cat got your tongue? Oh wait, you don't even have a tongue." The trio erupted in laughter. Marcus grabbed another page, tearing it free. Sofia's drawing of her late father, a construction worker who died when she was 8, ripped down the middle. She lunged forward with a cry that came from somewhere deep and broken, trying to save the pieces. Jason shoved her backward. Sofia hit the concrete hard, palms scraping, tears streaming down her freckled cheeks. "Damn, she can't even fall right." Jason jeered, zooming the camera in on her face, capturing every moment of her anguish, every silent sob that shook her small frame. Tyler held up a drawing of the winged motorcycle. "Look at this stupid shit. Who draws bikes with wings? What are you, 5 years old?" He crumpled it into a ball and tossed it into a nearby trash can. Sofia's world collapsed. Her art wasn't just drawings, it was her voice. Her connection to a father she could barely remember. Her dream of a world where she could fly away from the cruelty. She curled into herself on the sidewalk, arms wrapped around her head, wishing she could disappear. Jason's phone kept recording. "This is hilarious. Bro, I'm posting this right now. Wide. 2-3. Wide." They skated away, laughing, leaving Sofia alone with her scattered pencils and torn dreams. By midnight, the video had 50,000 views. By morning, it exploded past 300,000. The title read, "Deaf Girl Freaks Out Over Sketchbook Can't Even Talk." Comments flooded, in some defending Sofia, but most joining the mockery. "Why's she even outside if she can't hear? Natural selection. Lol. Those drawings suck anyway. Yo, someone make this a meme." Sofia's younger brother, Carlos, 13, saw it first. He burst into their small apartment at 7 a.m., phone shaking in his hand, rage and guilt battling on his face. He signed to Sofia, who sat on her bed, eyes red and hollow. They posted it. "Everyone's seen it. I'm so sorry I wasn't there." Maria came home from her night shift to find her daughter catatonic, staring at the wall, refusing food, refusing to draw, refusing to exist. The sketchbook, what remained of it, lay in the trash. Maria called the school. They promised to look into it. The police said it was just kids being kids. No crime committed, they said. Just cruelty. Uploaded for entertainment. By day 2, Sofia stopped going to school. She stopped signing. She stopped being Sofia. 200 miles away in Tucson, Marcus Hawk Johnson sat in the dimly lit clubhouse of the Iron Guardians MC, scrolling through his phone at 2 a.m. Sleep didn't come easy anymore, not since his daughter, Emma, died 5 years ago in a drunk driving accident. Emma had been deaf, just like Sofia. She'd been 14, bright, artistic, full of life. And then, in one terrible moment, she was gone. Hawk's feed showed the usual chaos. Political arguments, motorcycle memes, friends posting about their kids. Then he saw it. The video. The title alone made his jaw clench. He pressed play. The first thing he noticed was the drawing the motorcycle with wings. His breath caught. Emma had drawn the exact same thing. Dozens of times. Angels ride Harleys. Daddy. She used to sign to him, her smile brighter than the Arizona sun. The second thing he noticed was Sofia's face. The terror. The helplessness. The way she signed, please, over and over. Unheard. Ignored. His hand gripped the phone so hard the screen cracked slightly. The comments section made him sick. Hundreds of people laughing at a child's pain. Hawk stood, leather vest creaking. The Iron Guardian's patch on his back catching the low light. His tattooed arms covered in military insignia, dates of fallen brothers, and Emma's portrait over his heart flexed as he dialed a number. Diesel. Wake up the club. We ride in 6 hours. What's going on, Hawk? Someone heard a deaf girl, filmed it, made it a joke. His voice was granite. We're going to Phoenix. And we're going to remind those punks what respect means. How many we bringing? Hawk looked at Emma's photo on the wall, her signing, I love you, with one hand, holding a drawing with the other. All of them. 40 bikes. This ends now. By sunrise, Iron Guardians from across Arizona converged on the Tucson clubhouse. Wrench arrived first, 28 years old. Afghan war vet. Left ear mostly deaf from an IED blast. He knew sign language. He knew what it felt like to lose part of yourself and have the world treat you like you were less. Bear rolled in next 6'4", 280 pounds of solid muscle. Ex-boxer with hands like sledgehammers and a heart that couldn't stand seeing kids hurt. He'd grown up in foster care, knew what it meant to be powerless. Diesel, the oldest at 55, graybeard braided, wisdom in every scar, brought coffee and clarity. We doing this the right way? No violence? Hawk nodded. We show up. We show them what real men look like. We protect that girl. We make those punks apologize publicly. And we make sure this never happens to her again. Preacher, the former minister turned biker, added, sometimes, the righteous need to ride loud. By noon, 40 Harley-Davidsons lined up outside the clubhouse. Engines rumbled like thunder before a storm. Hawk stood at the front, helmet in hand, Emma's bracelet on his wrist. He addressed his brothers. We're not a gang. We're guardians. Today, we guard a girl who has no one else. We ride for Emma. We ride for every kid who's been made to feel small. We ride because silence in the face of evil is evil itself. 40 fists pounded 40 chests. 40 engines roared to life. The Iron Guardians rolled north toward Phoenix, chrome gleaming under the desert sun, a wall of leather and steel and purpose. Sofia sat on her porch, the remains of her sketchbook in a plastic bag beside her. Her mother was at work. Carlos was at school. She was alone with her thoughts, dark, spiraling thoughts about invisibility and worthlessness. Her phone buzzed. Another notification. Another share. Another laugh at her expense. She turned it off. Maybe she'd never turn it back on. In the distance, she felt something, a low vibration through the concrete, like distant thunder, or maybe an earthquake. She looked up. The street began to tremble. 40 Harley-Davidsons turned onto Sofia's street in perfect formation, engines roaring like mechanical thunder. Chrome gleamed under the Arizona sun. Leather vests bearing the Iron Guardians patch a shield with wings and the words, "Protect the innocent," moved as one unit. Neighbors emerged from houses. Car windows rolled down. Phones started recording. But this time, the cameras would capture something different. This time, they'd capture justice. Hawk led the pack, his salt and pepper beard catching the wind, sunglasses reflecting the suburban street. Behind him rode Wrench, Bear, Diesel, Preacher, and 35 more brothers, men who'd seen war, loss, and darkness, but chose to be light for those who needed it most. Sofia felt the vibrations before she saw them. The concrete beneath her feet trembled. She looked up from her porch, eyes widening as the motorcycle convoy slowed to a stop in front of her small house. One by one, engines cut off, leaving an eerie silence, or what Sofia knew as silence, the absence of vibration. 40 men dismounted. 40 sets of boots hit pavement. 40 pairs of eyes focused on one terrified teenage girl. Hawk removed his helmet slowly, approached carefully. He knew sudden movements scared, traumatized souls. He stopped 10 feet away, at the edge of her property line. Then he did something that made Sofia's breath catch. He raised his hands and signed. "Hello, Sofia. My name is Hawk. We're here to help you." Sofia's jaw dropped. Her hands trembled as she signed back. "How do you know my name? How do you know sign language?" Hawk's weathered face softened. He tapped his chest, over his heart, where Emma's portrait was tattooed. "My daughter was deaf. Her name was Emma. She died 5 years ago. But before she left, she taught me to see the world differently, to hear with my heart." Tears spilled down Sofia's cheeks. "I saw you're drawing the motorcycle with wings." Hawk pulled something from his vest pocket. The crumpled drawing, smoothed out, and protected in a clear plastic sleeve. Emma drew the same thing. "She said angels ride Harleys. I think she sent me to you." Sofia couldn't hold back anymore. She collapsed into sobs, and before Hawk could react, she ran down the steps and into his arms. He caught her, this broken girl who weighed nothing, and held her like he'd held Emma 1,000 times before. Behind him, grown men, bikers with scars and tattoos, and reputations wiped their eyes. Wrench stepped forward, signing. "You're not alone anymore, Sofia. You have 40 brothers now." An hour later, the Iron Guardians rolled into the skate park. Jason, Tyler, and Marcus were showing off tricks when the rumble started. They looked up to see a wall of motorcycles surrounding the park, blocking every exit. Jason's cocky smile vanished. "What the hell?" Hawk dismounted, flanked by Bear and Diesel. The three walked slowly toward the center of the park, boots crunching on gravel. Behind them, 37 more bikers formed a semicircle. No weapons. No threats. Just presence, overwhelming, undeniable presence. Jason tried to front. "Yo, who are you old dudes? This is a public park." Bear stepped forward. At 6'4" and 280 pounds, he made Jason look like a child. "Public? So it was public when you assaulted that girl? When you stole her property? When you filmed her crying and made it entertainment?" Tyler's voice cracked. "We didn't assault anyone. We were just messing around." Diesel, the oldest, spoke with the authority of a disappointed father. "Son, I've been messing around for 55 years. I've fought in wars. I've buried friends. I've made mistakes. But I never filmed someone's pain for laughs. That's not messing around. That's cowardice." Hawk pulled out his phone, opened the video, turned the volume up, made them watch themselves, made them hear their own laughter. As Sofia signed, "Please," over and over, unheard. "That girl," Hawk said, voice low and dangerous. is deaf. She can't defend herself with words. Her art is her voice. And you tore it apart. You humiliated her. You made her feel worthless. For what? For views? For likes? Jason's bravado crumbled. He looked at his feet. Marcus, the third bully, whispered. No, Wrench interrupted, stepping forward. You didn't think. Because thinking requires empathy. And empathy requires you to see people as human. He tapped his left ear. I lost most of my hearing in Afghanistan. IED blast. I know what it's like when the world treats you different. But you know what? I still have a choice. Be bitter or be better. Sofia didn't get a choice about being deaf. But you three? You chose to be cruel. No, preacher, the former minister, added. The Bible says the strong should protect the weak. You did the opposite. You became exactly what the world doesn't need more of. Hawk crossed his arms. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to apologize. Publicly. You're going to make a video right here. Right now, taking down the original post, admitting what you did was wrong, and apologizing to Sofia. Then you're going to volunteer at the Arizona School for the Deaf for the next 6 months. You're going to learn sign language. You're going to understand what you mocked. And if we don't? Jason tried one last time to sound tough. Bear leaned in close. Then we make sure every college, every employer, every person you ever meet knows exactly who you are. We don't need to touch you, kid. Your own actions will destroy you. We're giving you a chance to be better. Take it. 20 minutes later, Jason, Tyler, and Marcus stood in front of a phone camera. Behind them, 40 bikers stood silent, arms crossed. Jason's hands shook as he read from a piece of paper. My name is Jason Brenner. A few days ago, I hurt someone. I stole from her, mocked her disability, and filmed her pain for entertainment. That person's name is Sofia Rivera. She's deaf, she's an artist, and she deserves respect, not cruelty. I'm sorry, Sofia. What I did was wrong. There's no excuse. I'm deleting the original video. And I'm going to spend the next 6 months learning about the deaf community, learning sign language, and learning to be a better person. If you're watching this and you laughed at that video, don't. Be better than I was. Tyler and Marcus followed with their own apologies, voices breaking, shame evident. Hawk posted the video with the caption, Real men protect. Real men apologize. Real men grow. These young men have a long road ahead. Let's give them the chance. Sofia never got the chance to be heard. Rather 10. Within hours, the new video went viral. 500,000 views. Comments flooded in. This is what accountability looks like. Those bikers are heroes. Respect to Sofia for being stronger than her bullies. 1 week later, Sofia stood in the Iron Guardians clubhouse, surrounded by 40 men who'd become her family. Hawk presented her with a gift. A brand new sketchbook, professional-grade colored pencils, and a custom leather vest, child-sized, with an honorary Iron Guardians patch. You're one of us now, Hawk signed. An honorary guardian. Sofia opened the sketchbook. The first page had a note, written by all 40 members. Dear Sofia, your voice is louder than you think. Your art speaks what words cannot. Never let anyone silence you again. You have 40 brothers who will always have your back. Ride free. The Iron Guardians. She hugged the book to her chest, then looked up at Hawk. Can I draw you? I'd be honored. For the next hour, Sofia sketched Hawk's portrait. When she finished, she showed him. It wasn't just his face. Behind him, she'd drawn Emma, her hand on his shoulder, smiling, wings spreading from her back. At the bottom, Sofia had written, Angels ride Harleys, and they ride for us. Hawk's tough guy exterior shattered. He pulled Sofia into a hug, tears streaming into his beard. Thank you, he whispered, knowing she couldn't hear. but she felt it in the way he held her, in the vibration of his chest, in the safety of his arms. 3 months later, Sofia stood at a microphone in front of Desert Ridge High School's entire student body. Wrench translated her signs into spoken words. My name is Sofia Rivera. I'm deaf. For a long time, I thought that made me weak. Then I met 40 men who showed me that strength isn't about how loud you can yell. It's about who you stand up for when no one else will. Today, I'm announcing the launch of Hawk's Wings Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting deaf and disabled youth through art programs, mentorship, and community protection, because everyone deserves to be heard, even if they can't speak. The auditorium erupted in applause. Jason, Tyler, and Marcus sat in the front row, signing along. We support you, Sofia. Outside, 40 Harleys were parked in formation. Hawk sat on his bike, Emma's bracelet on his wrist, watching through the window. Diesel stood beside him. You think Emma would be proud? Hawk asked. I think Emma sent you to that girl for a reason, Diesel replied. Sometimes, we can't save the ones we love, but we can save the ones they loved. That's how their legacy lives on. Hawk nodded, started his engine. The Iron Guardians rolled out together, their rumble echoing through the desert. A reminder that angels do ride Harleys, and they ride for those who need them most. Sofia waved from the window, sketch of Hawk with wings tucked under her arm. She wasn't invisible anymore. She wasn't voiceless. She was Sofia Rivera, artist, survivor, guardian, and her story was just beginning.